Hey guys, welcome to the Editing Bar, the channel that brings you writing tips that make sense. Today we are doing another cringe-worthy review, and the victim is going to be Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. Okay, so you might be wondering, what in the world could I find wrong with Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet? Well, as it turns out, quite a bit. And this was something that I actually wasn't planning on doing. I wasn't going to get into animated stuff. My victims tend to be more towards the movies that take themselves a little more seriously, or a little too seriously. But unfortunately, I was able to pick out quite a bit of stuff with Wreck-It Ralph. Now, this does not take away from the fact that Wreck-It Ralph was actually really funny. I understood all of the social media references and thought it was humorous that, you know, he was trying to get famous on YouTube, but it's not YouTube. But I mean, really, guys, like, let's face it, it's pretty close to YouTube. And I could feel Ralph's pain of like trying to hit it big, or, you know, things like that. Like, I'm pretty sure any creator on YouTube is going to feel that way. But there were things that, when I took a second look at it, just kind of stood out in a way that really irritated me. And this goes back to what I've said about some of the other Disney movies that I've already done, which I think was only the Star Wars The Last Jedi. Is that it's been a critique of mine across movies to date so far, and that is simply the whole men are dumb, strong women are strong character archetypes. It's stupid. It's all that it is. Okay, so to start off, they make Ralph into kind of a needy baby who is holding on to Vanellope in a very clingy way, and there's some humor to it, but it's so heavy on his insecurity. I mean, that's quite literally what wrecks the internet, is his insecurity. So, and it's holding her back from her dreams of being in Slaughter Race. So, I mean, it kind of starts off there, and it was just kind of like, okay, whatever. The movie itself is a giant ad for Disney and for Facebook and Instagram and social media platforms as a whole. I mean, that's literally the whole purpose of this movie. It's just a giant ad placement for these people, and to sell merchandise. I mean, that's the other reason for it, is just to sell merchandise. So you have that, all of the princesses, because Vanellope, and we see this in the trailer, Vanellope meets with the princesses, and they are about ready to shank her. Cinderella specifically smashes her glass slipper and is about ready to stab her, when she says, well, hey guys, whoa, I'm a princess too. And so then they start going through this list of things, like, you know, do you sing, do you talk to animals, do you do all this kind of thing? She's like, no. She's like, do you guys need help? Like, are you guys in trouble? And then they go with, oh, does a man think that he needs to save you? And she's like, yeah, what's up with that? And they're all like, oh my gosh, I know. It's just, I get it. I really do. But the princesses don't need no man thing, I think, was just dumb. It's just Disney once again just pushing out their agenda and just browbeating people with it and indoctrinating kids with it. I mean, that's what it boiled down to. And again, I would be saying the exact same thing if it were flipped the opposite way, and they were like, the characters were like, we don't need no woman, or, you know, like, I'm playing this both ways here. Like, you hear me talk about strong woman is strong, and don't need no man thing, because that's what's prevalent in the movies that I am seeing. And I mean, like, I have a list of movies, guys. Like, these are the other notes, and it's just as bad in that one as it is in this one. So it's just what Disney's shoveling out. Again, Ralph throughout the entire movie is shown to be just kind of a dumb man, a dumb male who's trying to do things that he thinks will fix it, and it doesn't end up working. So you have that. This leads to a system-wide insecurity virus. That's what wrecks the internet. And I mean, he also is shown doing a lot of stupid stuff, but he's trying to do it to help his friend. So like, I liked that positive portrayal, but that was about it. But it still required him being an idiot in order to accomplish that, which I thought wasn't needed. So you have the insecurity virus, and then he's rescued by the don't need no man princesses, and they proceed to put him in a dress. That's how they rescue him. They put him in a dress. The politics in this movie are glaringly obvious to anybody with a set of brain cells, and it's not needed. Like, listen, guys don't wear dresses. I'm just gonna go out there and say it. Guys don't wear dresses. And when you're pushing this on people, when kids see this is not going to be positive. This is going to be very, very confusing. And so, to me, especially with a character that is beloved as Ralph, because I love Wreck-It Ralph. Like, I thought it was a hilarious first movie. Did they need a second one? That's debatable. Most movies nowadays don't need a second one because they usually end up ruining it. This one just felt, again, like it was pushing an agenda. And Disney is more heavy-handed with this than most of the other movies that I've seen. So you have Disney, once again, heavy-handed on its message about, female power. It does this in Star Wars. It does this in Aladdin. It does this in Toy Story. It does this in more movies coming out. I have no doubt about it. I mean, they did this in Captain Marvel. They've done this with the other characters in the Marvel Universe. Disney is very, very heavy-handed when it comes to this. I'm going to start sounding like a broken record in some of these videos where I talk about like how not to do this. But seriously, like, if you're going to write anything and you have your own particular agenda that you want to convey to people, which is a part of writing, which is a part of your prerogative as an author, is you get to do that. Don't be as heavy-handed with it as you see Disney being, because it is off-putting to people. People don't actually like that. Now, I'm talking about the vast majority of people. Those majority remain silent. The minority is what we hear and what we think of is going, oh, well, they represent obviously the entire human race. It's not the case. The same with the book. If you fall into the trap of writing to a very niche market, and I mean, like, you're niching down so much that it's only people within a certain sphere of politics, you're missing out on everybody else that could be joining you in your book. And I'm going to tell this to people who are writing left-wing books, who are writing right-wing books. As an editor, I edit all kinds of books. So I'm not trying to push one or the other. I have my own personal beliefs, which some of you can probably tell because these rub me the wrong way. But I want to help people achieve their vision for their book, regardless of whether their political leanings are anywhere near mine. That's not the point. That's not the purpose of writing. Writing transcends politics. Okay, it's a way of communicating our values to people. And so when we muddle it up and just cater to a single demographic of people and a single mindset, you're missing out on a much broader audience that could be influenced or could need to hear your message. Because I'm not saying that right wing is right, and I'm not saying left wing is right. Honestly, the whole political spectrum is a huge pain in the ass. Let's be honest. But when you are so busy trying to shove your ideologies and agendas down people's throats, like Ralph is doing in a very subtle way here, then you're not going to get the same kind of interest as you possibly could have. Could you still get interest and sell books? Absolutely. Could it be as much as you could have made had you explored two different options? Probably not. That's just my opinion on it. You guys can take it or leave it. Ultimately, this movie is a cringe. That's the rank for this movie, is that it's cringe. So while the obnoxiousness of the whole female power thing and putting Ralph into a dress was painful, I still ultimately enjoyed the tongue-in-cheek references for social media, for, you know, Mr. Know-It-All, which was like the discount Google, if we're being honest. They couldn't use Google, they had to use the discount guy. So that is the rank for this video, guys. If you want to see more like this and hear more on tips on how to write your stories, make sure you go down, you hit that subscribe button, click the little notification bell, so that way you get updated on when I update my videos, which is every Friday. Thank you guys again so much for your support, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.